It all started with two friends and their need for proper relaxation. They both hadn't lived in their home country for years now, and the yearning for reconnecting with homeland nature was starting to turn everything into a sentiment, which, of course, made them less and less bearable conversationalists, so something needed to be done. One had been busy traveling south of Europe and serving hungry tourists in the Swiss Alps for a year before. The other was sick of slouching in front of a computer screen and trying to find meaning in advertising work. So they managed to finally meet again, packed their green borrowed car with all the local foods they had missed and craved for months, and drove 250 kilometers northwest, with the hope to quench their thirst for the lushness of familiar home country nature. First, they got hit by the lack of sound. No cars, no engines, no chatter, no noise, just silence. Old Lithuanian pagan creatures guided their entrance, and the tops of the trees greeted them warmly, looking down to them and letting the sun rays play through their branches. A little wooden house was prepared for the little time they would spend there, sleeping under the skylights being hit by the rainfall. Through tiny forest roads they reached the main attraction, the biggest lake in the region, Plateliai. Like two dads with rolled up pant legs, they couldn't get over the softness of the sand, the warmth of the water, and the sparkle of the sun. They were building sandcastles in their minds. Once their stomachs started making them aware of their existence, they set out on a quest that's rarely easy for a city person, setting up the campfire for dinner. The struggle made it tastier. There were grilled mushrooms from one of their mom's gardens, bell peppers and shashlik, rice, white salad and crab salad, cherry beer, peas and gooseberries. They were cosplaying their own uncles and aunts that light up the grill the very first warm spring day and feast with the family, something they used to be a norm to watch when they were younger, but now has become a test of their own skill and ability to bend natural elements. What better way to digest if not by taking a walk and seeing the sun off? These two were the only kids on the premises, if not physically, then by heart. The laughs and the fun caused by the spinning on wooden horses only proved that to be right. They had to wash the day off one more time, this time at dusk and with not a single person around. Just two friends once again admiring the softness of the sand, the warmth of the water, and the fact that they're there together to admire it. It all turned out to be a more extended ritual than they had thought it would be. At midnight they were still waving the sun goodnight. Maybe it's just summer in Northern Europe. They went to bed that night and dreamt a beautiful dream together, one with a soundtrack of rain and one that left the following time feeling fresh and new. Once they woke up, they still felt like they were in a dream, where they could do everything they wanted, with no interruption of the business of life, where clocks didn't exist and time and direction were ruled by sun, wind, forest creature spotting, hunger and pure wish, no practicality. There were banana pancakes and quark snacks for breakfast, with coffee drunk from soup bowls instead of cups, as there was a wish to consume coffee with no conscious limit. There was homemade kombucha and grapes. The daily activities started with swinging and mutually deciding that the three biggest inventions of humanity are fire, the wheel, and the swing. Additionally, it was agreed that humans are cute, and their natural draw to entertainment and play doesn't stop mesmerizing. A grasshopper was greeted before heading off to the tennis court. It was left to guard the little wooden house. The two weren't in particularly great physical shape. Maybe their upbringing that praised hard work couldn't keep them in gyms and made them tolerate exercise only through practical application, which lately had been scarce, only in the shape of walking, hiking, cycling, and an occasional camera handling. So their tennis match would have been a bore to watch, but fun anyways for the players, and would have gone on for hours if it wasn't interrupted by a predator that needed saving. A baby viper, the only poisonous type of snake in the country. Unaware of its venom and mesmerized by its diamond blotches, the two safely moved the baby snake out of the tennis court, away from potential crushing. Amused by hair static, they decided it was time for a switch of genre. Time for a friendly game of basketball instead. Besides competing with one another, the two faced another force to fight. Wind in the middle of the lake. With a bright green paddle boat as their choice of transportation, they were battling the waves, at times feeling like they were stuck and couldn't reach the shore. Singing the Pirates of the Caribbean theme song kept them morally afloat, even when faced with a yacht coming straight their way. There were snacks aboard, duck spotting and befriending, and steering off way, because the clouds looked so much like the ones you draw as a child, spaced out neatly, that the two just had to look up and gaze. On the way, they stopped at a field to have a conversation and mutually agreed that cows are the most beautiful animals on earth. Chatting with them and staring into their long-lashed eyes made them question their occupations and think that maybe becoming self-sufficient farmers living off the grid would be much fairer for their human nature. Then it was time to light up the campfire again, this time with much more confidence and success. The coal was burning and got heated red, ready to take the foil-wrapped potatoes into their company. The sun was setting and the life was getting ready to sleep. Soon the potatoes were topped with sausages and corn. After a little bacon bun dance, the food was ready and the stomachs were once again full. For the full circle of rituals, the two tiptoed through the dark forest to see the sun off into the lake. The night was too cold this time for a walk in the water ripples, but perfect for a small cup of tea. The two sat, wrapped in blankets, watching the sun drown in the peach horizon, slowly starting to realize that they had just experienced what it's like to live floating in the present, with no concept of yesterday or tomorrow, and creating little strategies of how to bring the secret gift with them back to where they came from.